And the other people were standing before me and they say they got into the wrong crowd, and I asked them who's a part of the wrong crowd, they would say you. So the fact that they took 5 children from you, it wasn't just because you're in a wheelchair, because there are people who are in wheelchairs. It's because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. It's calling 2022 CR 5618, State of Texas versus Cassandra Valdez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrahan, Your Honor.
Defense.
Wemmert for the defendant.
All right, and are you Miss Cassandra Luisa Valdez? All right, you're here for sentencing. You entered a plea on January 24th. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishments be assessed at 5 years in the prison. There's no application for deferred adjudication. The state is recommending community supervision, and there's restitution. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, ma'am, we have.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report from the state of the defense?
No, Your Honor, not to the state.
The defense has objection to the restitution, and we'd like a hearing on the restitution issues. They're a little sketchy.
All right. So before we proceed, the question for the court is, why should I follow this plea? So before we get to restitution, why should I follow a plea bargain agreement when she has several unauthorized use of vehicles? And then a new one, I guess, that was just indicted. And I have destruction of property. And she's pled to the possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. And there are several cases that are being taken in consideration. So the question for the court is, why should I follow this plea?
I can't speak for the state. This was their offer, and we of course accepted it because it is a very good offer. Excuse me. As the court probably noted in the narrative of the PSI, Ms. Valdez has had less than a blissful childhood. And yes, she is a grown adult, but we all know that what happens in our childhood often carries over to our mental and other well-being as adults. She's already lost custody of her 5 children. She has no family support whatsoever. She obviously struggles with mental health, being diagnosed when she was a teenager with bipolar, PTSD, and anxiety and various other things. And as the court is well aware, the way that a lot of people who don't have a good support system deal with mental illness is alcohol and other substance abuse, which leads to criminal activity, that vicious cycle.
But at what point, and maybe you can answer this, Ms. Valdez, at what point it's no longer your childhood's fault, it's you making bad choices? What is the cutoff time? When we're 50, when we're 30? Because people come before me and they have mental health issues, they have drug issues. I can understand that. But what I have here is somebody who's using other people's cars. And this person is saying, and I know you, counsel, you're talking about the restitution.
Yes, ma'am.
But the fact that this vehicle has rims, tires, and built-in radio and navigation system that they're saying that was destroyed, I don't consider myself an expert, but I have brothers, and I will tell you, this $4,700 for rims, tires, and the built-in radio navigation system, that must have been an inexpensive rims, tires, built-in radio navigation system. Because I will tell you that I always do whatever comes off from the manufacturer. I don't add any extra. It is what it is. And my tires are very expensive. And they don't even have the bells and whistles that it sounds as this person has. So at what point is it not mental health? Because there are people who have mental health issues. They don't go around taking somebody's car, destroying it. Sure, let me have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Cassandra Valdez.
Yes.
Okay, if you look at my criminal record, I lost my kids 4 years ago when I picked up my first son. The reason why I lost them is I got ran over by their dad and I was in a wheelchair and the state decided I was mentally unfit. So being a parent from 17 years old all the way to 31, 32, when I lost him, I didn't know what to do. I got into the wrong crowd. I thought people were my friends. I listened to them.
Okay, let me just tell you, if the other people were standing before me and they say they got into the wrong crowd and I asked them who's a part of the wrong crowd, they would say you. And I know
And
if Child Protective Services took your children, I know they didn't just wash their hands of you. I know, and Ms. Wimmer probably knows too, that they give you an attorney over there and they have conditions for you to follow through. And if you have mental health issues, they get somebody to help you with your mental health. If you have parenting deficiencies, they help you with that.
Yes, ma'am.
Basically, Child Protective Services, when they take your children into care, if they don't have them placed with you, basically you have a free babysitter for an entire year to get your life together.
Yes, ma'am.
So the fact that they took 5 children from you, it wasn't just because you're in a wheelchair, because there are people who are in wheelchairs who have their children. It's because you didn't do what you were supposed to do.
Yes, ma'am. And now, I mean, I realized that, and now I am in contact with them, and I do have an opportunity to be there for them and change my life.
Where are your
and,
children placed?
with their aunt.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have contact yet. And I'm not, if I follow this agreement, I'm not going to let you have contact with them yet.
Okay.
All right, you can go for it.
And I mean, I really hope. I mean, I know you're looking at that paper and I've done a lot of stupid things, but I've learned from it and I just want to do better. I haven't had a chance. And I don't, it's not for me.
Oh, it's not for anybody. I can guarantee you. People who are over in the box right now, who are in custody, all of them are saying this is not for me.
But I need help. I do need help and I want the help. I do.
State, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, ma'am.
All right, probation, what's the wait time for DDRF?
Your Honor, right now, the wait time will be
2 years?
about 10 weeks for her. It's 4 to 8 weeks for the actual wait time and anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks for medical clearance. So
We're looking at 48 weeks.
I would say 8 to 10 weeks.
Oh, you're saying 4 to 8 weeks. I thought you were saying 48
No,
weeks.
4 to 8.
All right, because I was doing the math in my head. I'm just like, we're getting into federal time. All right, is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you were released, where would you be saying?
I got into the inpatient at the hope. So I have a bed waiting for me. And they actually gave me a choice between inpatient and outpatient, and I picked the inpatient.
All right. And with regards to the restitution amount, state?
Your Honor, when stated in the PSI, the state would be requesting that be ordered.
All right, and do you want to have a restitution hearing?
Yes, ma'am. I really would. I've had some interesting experiences, and I know the court has too, along the way with people claiming things that, for example, the rims and the tires and everything. If insurance paid, then he was compensated for the value of those items.
All right, and I will tell you what he's saying in the PSI is they were not a part of that. And usually the $4,500 rims that you put on your vehicle, usually the insurance is like, no, unless you let them know, hey, I have $4,500 worth of rims, which nobody ever does. And I can't believe, they actually have a business, Rent a Rim, so you can change out your rims every week. And those rims, people who rent them pay $200 a week for them.
I don't know anybody like that.
Yeah.
I have a murder defendant that did that.
Yeah. And the Rent a Rim place has insurance. Who would have thought you could make money by renting rims to people? All right. This is the court, will do the court will sentence you to 5 years in prison, suspended and probated for 8 years. There's $1,000 fine. That will be probated. This is run concurrent with County Court Cause number 684-366, 698-774. Take in consideration 2022 CR 7153, 2022 CR 5619, CM 104897, which it appears to be grand jury number 786826. County Court Cause numbers 684-365, 698-590. Restitution of $57 to the Bear County Lab. There's going to be restitution to Charles Young and cause number 2022 CR 5619. Michael Villanueva. And cause number 2022 CR 7153. Restitution to Sandy, Sandy Gonzalez with a Z, and CM 104897. And let me make sure that covers all the restitution. Mm. 300 hours of community service restitution. The court is going to order parenting classes. Once she completes parenting classes, then the community service hours should be deemed to be satisfied. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Defendant to remain in custody pending DDRF placement. Defendant to reside at Haven for Hope upon release from custody. Regular UAs, field visits 2 times per month until further notice, proof of employment or SSI within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And I'm sorry, with regards to the parenting classes and the community service hours, 150 hours will be deemed of community service to be completed once she does that. And the remaining community service hours will be deemed to be satisfied once she writes a letter of apology to the complainants. And that's to all the complainants. And you can turn that over to probation, and probation will make sure that they receive that.
These probation conditions are absolutely loaded with consequences. Parenting classes, community service, apology letters to every victim, mandatory reporting, rehab placement, employment restrictions, no unsupervised contact with minors, and constant monitoring. This is not a walk-free sentence. A lot of viewers hear probation and assume somebody escaped punishment, but probation like this can completely control a person's daily life for years. What stands out most is the judge ordering personal apology letters to every complainant. That adds an emotional accountability component instead of just financial penalties. And the restriction involving minors is huge because it directly impacts her ability to rebuild relationships with her own children. Judge Boyd is essentially saying, if you want your life back, you're going to have to prove you earned it step by step.
There's to be no unsupervised contact. Minors until further notice. Probation, is there anything else she needs?
Your Honor, for the restitution in CM 104897, did you give a name for that?
Sandy Gonzalez.
Okay, so she's under 22 CR 7153 and the CM 104897.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. No, nothing else.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
I have a question, Your Honor.
Yes.
The court said no unsupervised contact with any minor. I was just thinking about her employment. I guess if she was employed, she wouldn't be unsupervised if minors were customers or something.
Yes. All right, and Ms. Ferguson, I'm gonna want a 30-day reset on this case. You can do it as a phantom setting so that we can see if she's been transferred to DDRF. And if she hasn't been transferred to DDRF, I'm gonna want her brought back to court and we'll have the restitution hearing. State, is that enough time for you all to contact them?
I'm sure it is, Judge.
Okay. April 4th? All right, so we're gonna be back on April 4th to address restitution with the complainants.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Not yet. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. So I don't have zero tolerance in this court. You're on probation, you got to follow the rules. If there's an issue or something you feel you need help with that's not being addressed, the court is always here and you can stop in.
And how long will I have to go to rehab?
It is, how long is the program, probation?
All runs together for me. 120 to 180 days.
Yes.
Okay.
State, on this case, I also have this. And just one moment, we're probably gonna have to go back on the record. Who's the complainant in that case?
Sandy Gonzalez, it says.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't have to go back on the record, but I don't have a dismissal for that.
She's the one who was the CM, I think.
Yes.
It might have been indicted, but it looks like a brand new indictment.
Okay,
Let me just make sure. I'll check that.
all right.
Yeah, she was
Thank you.
104897.
Yeah, it's indicted as 1858. It's a 2023 CR 1858.
Thank you, Judge.
And the complainant is Sandy Gonzalez.
He or she.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Your Honor.
You're welcome. Calling 2022 CR 7966, State of Texas versus Arnisha Graham. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason Jorgens for the state.
defense?
James Hunt.
Are you Miss Graham? Showing you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Arnisha Deshawn Graham, who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 7966 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on October 25th, 2022 for a period of 5 years? Is that you? State?
In this case, the state alleges on or about the first day of February 2023 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Arnisha Deshawn Graham, committed the offense of possession of controlled substance, PG 1, in violation of condition number 1.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
We'll waive the remaining allegation, Your Honor.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1? Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is for the court to deny the motion to amend the conditions of supervision to include the DDRF program with mixed supervision to follow. In the event that the defendant does not qualify for DDRF, we're asking the court to assess safety with aftercare and mixed supervision on that as well following the inpatient treatment. As a part of this agreement, if I could have just a moment, Your Honor. As a part of this agreement, Ms. Graham has agreed to an adjudication and revocation in her pending county court case. Which is cause number 685-265. And as a part of this agreement, we're asking the court to take into consideration night mag number 697767.
Is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Is that the agreement? Are you all asking me to follow this agreement?
We are.
Are you asking me to follow this agreement? So what inpatient treatment has she had?
I don't believe she has that.
All right. And so why is there a suggestion for DDRF? Is there some mental health issues?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include DDRF. And that evaluation is while in custody.
That's what I would like to speak to about.
Sure.
I do have, last time I came up here, you asked me to do work. I do have a bill going on with my children, which is why I'm not trying to be in custody. I fought really hard to get an attorney to fight my case, to fight for my children. You asked that on my probation that I follow CPS and that I comply with CPS is one of my stipulations of our probation. I also have Titan in the aging and disability, helping me with my housing. I also have, I checked into the Haven Road, and I did not live with mom. She wanted me to make sure I put that in. I have not lived with my mom the whole time that I have been pre-composition of myself. When I got out of here October 1st, I was a victim of a crime and I did, suffer some losses of identity. I did not let that stop me. I was a habitual offender when we first started this case, ma'am. And I have not picked up a new charge in over 10 months. It will be in May. I would not have picked up a new charge in 10 months. My last.
We have the possession less than a gram case.
Yeah, this case, yes, ma'am. I would have made it a year when when I was going back to back.
All right, so.
And I just don't want to lose my children.
All right, so Miss Graham, let me explain something to you.
That's it.
All right, and I want you to internalize what I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am.
So where are your children placed?
My children are placed in foster care. I'm fighting the case, so that they will not be adopted. I would like, if I am sentenced to DTF, if my connection with my case could be connected with my.
Who is your, let me ask you this, who is your attorney for CPS?
I just got her a week because 3 lawyers denied me, so I just got her a week before.
Well, no, because what I want you to hear me clearly. I've done CPS cases before. If you have a legal CPS case and you cannot afford an attorney, they are obligated to appoint you one because they're seeking It's a legal case and they're seeking termination. No, listen,
They already.
Listen, time out. time out. So they would have given you an attorney. So your attorney will know what's happening in this case. And if for some reason on the CPS side, they decide to put you into their program, because they have a program for mothers and fathers who have mental health issues and who have drug issues, they have that. And she'll be able to contact probation here and let me know. But for now, you need to realize that when you get drugs from people, and this possession less than 1 gram tells me you're probably a user. When you get drugs from people, you don't know what you're getting. It could be the last time you used drugs. So I'm going to follow your agreement, deny the motion, alter the main conditions to include DDRF evaluation, that's while in custody. Also a MIC evaluation while in custody. And if she doesn't qualify for either, then we're going to start off with SATF and see what SATF says. And probation, let's see, I know they don't have any room, but if case 1 opens up, and we can also refer her to felony drug court. Court will take in consideration NIMAG number 697767. All right, good luck to you.
Judge Stephanie Boyd delivered a sentence that balanced punishment, rehabilitation, and accountability all at once. Cassandra Valdez avoided immediate prison time, but the court made it painfully clear that this was not mercy without conditions. The judge rejected excuses tied solely to trauma and mental health while still leaving the door open for treatment, recovery, and eventually rebuilding her life. The courtroom focused heavily on personal responsibility, especially regarding her children, repeated criminal behavior, and failure to follow through with prior opportunities for help. Now everything depends on whether she can actually comply with probation, treatment programs, and the strict restrictions ordered by the court. One violation, and this suspended sentence could quickly become real prison time. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.